Welcome back. This is the second session of supply chain management in service industry. This session we will focus on the concept of service supply chain and the specific challenges and the issues related to service supply chain. The network of activities involved in a service delivery system which are connected with a number of participants who work in a unified direction for a successful delivery of value to the customer is referred to as service supply chain. All the participants of the service supply chain are mutually related and they work towards the objective of achieving higher efficiency or responsiveness. Service supply chains usually involve the customer as a direct participant in the chain, unlike the physical goods supply chain. With recent developments of information technology, the customers are involved in a direct fashion and the new knowledge management strategies create more opportunities to acquire a competitive advantage. It involves the customers. Such strategies also pave way for improvement in the quality of service while trying to reduce the cost of providing the service. The figure attached shows a conceptual supply chain of service, but the approach to and the relative importance of each component is different. So now we will focus on the specific issues in service supply chain. As mentioned earlier, the supply chain of service is vastly different from that of the product supply chain. There are many reasons to it and few of which are deliberated now. Customer-supplier duality. The first issue is related to customer-supplier duality. In services, the activity is initiated by the customer. Any service involves any act or deed that involves a physical or mental inputs from the customer or any information that is being provided by the customer. Hence, the customer not only sticks as a customer but also as a supplier to the service. As the customer plays dual role, this scenario is called customer-supplier duality in service supply chain. The customer-supplier duality is called the bidirectional relationship between customer and the service provider, which is depicted in the picture attached. The bidirectional relationship of the customer-supplier duality may be of two types. One is the single level, the second one is the two level. The single level bidirectional relationship is a condition where the customer provides inputs to the service providers. The service providers handles the information, processes it, implements changes according to the inputs and converts them into output in the service production process and delivers to the customers. The two-level bidirectional relationship as it is depicted in the picture, in this relationship the customer provides inputs to the service provider which is in turn provided to the suppliers or the second level service providers who assist in the process of converting the inputs into outputs in the production process and deliver back to the customer. And it is explained to an example in the healthcare sector. Package services. Few service providers offer their services as a package to the customer. A service package includes all the services offered by various service providers. This saves more time for the customers besides providing them with convenience. Package services are mostly found in tourism and hospitality industry, wherein the tour operator has good linkages with airlines, restaurants, transportation services and other services in order to provide the customers with a wholesome experience of a tour or a holiday trip. Outsourcing. Outsourcing has become one of the most trending activity of services like banking, financial services, insurance and telecommunication services. Most of the companies have begun to outsource their internal operations to focus on core competencies. The specialist firms which offer service outsourcing are referred to as business process outsourcing, who are offered the in-house services of the companies. IT and IT-enabled services firms are also emerging as giants on whom the companies depend to outsource their in-house operations. Outsourcing helps the business to focus on the core competencies, and on the other hand, it is more feasible for the companies that have global presence to understand the local market and its demands when outsourced. Further, outsourcing will help to reduce the employee base within an organization, which in turn will help in reducing the operation cost. Besides, it will also provide enough access to additional skills and capacity, which will be an expensive process when it is done in-house. So we have an example attached. A North American company named Allianz Life Insurance Company has outsourced various operations to a number of companies, and it is depicted in the picture given. So which are all the companies Allianz had outsourced and for what operation they have having an alliance with the other companies is given. Managing suppliers in service supply chains. How are we going to manage the suppliers in the service supply chains? Enjoying a service is very less controlled when compared to the purchasing of a product. The challenge in the service sector is the overbilling in most service contracts, differences in defining the service levels by vendors, comparing purchase with the real worth of the service enjoyed, etc. Another challenge is managing the purchasing activities of large number of branches situated in different parts of the country and the world. This will give place to huge number of suppliers for various products interlinked with the operations of the business, and the monitoring of such suppliers becomes tedious. In order to manage the suppliers and to reduce overhead cost and avoid duplication of work, the companies have to adopt to centralization of purchase through technology or e-procurement, and also should follow a strict service level agreements and make periodic reviews of the same. Coming to the simultaneous production and delivery. Services are of nature that they are creation of time and consumption of time which are the same. Hence, there is no return or exchange of the service enjoyed. For example, when a client goes to an IT service provider and uses the computer for surfing, he enjoys the service, and in case he doesn't feel satisfied about the frequency or speed of the connectivity, he cannot argue with the service provider. This is an important consideration in the service supply chain management. With the above specific issues in the service supply chain, today's session is closed. Further, we will discuss about the service quality model and a case study in the next session. So, here are few questions to recap the session's content. The first question may be, how do you think outsourcing help better performance of service supply chains? And you can try to differentiate the single level and the two level bidirectional relationship. Thank you.